Kelly Clarkson has once again proved why she remains one of the most powerful vocalists of her generation. In a stirring performance that has resonated across the country and beyond, Clarkson delivered an emotionally charged rendition of Trisha Yearwood's 1992 classic, Walkaway Joe. The cover, part of her widely acclaimed Kellyoaks segment on The Kelly Clarkson Show, left audiences breathless, and in many cases wiping away tears. The performance, which aired during a recent episode of her daytime talk show, was a masterclass in restraint, emotion, and vocal nuance. Clarkson's ability to capture the heartbreak and longing embedded in the song's lyrics reminded fans of her unique gift for storytelling through music. But this wasn't just a cover. It was a love letter to Trisha Yearwood's legacy, a bold and reverent homage that has since ignited a wave of praise from fans, music critics, and even Yearwood herself. A timeless classic reimagined. Originally released in 1992 as the second single from Trisha Yearwood's sophomore album Hearts in Armor, Walkaway Joe tells the haunting tale of a young girl who falls for a charming drifter, only to learn he was never meant to stay. The song, co-written by Vince Melamed and Greg Barnhill, featured a guest vocal appearance by a then-unknown Don Henley of the Eagles. Its blend of country storytelling and soft rock harmonies cemented its status as one of Yearwood's most iconic ballads. Clarkson, long known for her appreciation of classic country and her seamless ability to cross genres, selected Walkaway Joe with intention. In the introduction to the performance, she shared that the song had been a personal favorite since her teenage years growing up in Texas, listening to country radio and falling in love with the stories behind the melodies. An emotional performance beyond expectations. From the moment Clarkson began singing the opening lines, there was a noticeable shift in the energy of the room. With minimal instrumentation, a gently strummed acoustic guitar, soft piano, and subtle backing harmonies, the arrangement allowed Clarkson's voice to take center stage. She didn't mimic Yearwood's original delivery. Instead, she honored it while making the performance her own. Her vocal phrasing was deliberate, restrained in the verses, and aching with emotion in the chorus. Lines like "such a cruel joke to play on yourself/loving someone who's walking away" took on a new layer of poignancy in Clarkson's voice. There was a visible connection to the song's narrative, a sense that she wasn't just singing about heartbreak, she was reliving it. Social media quickly exploded with reactions, many fans expressing how the performance had brought them to tears. "She just ripped my heart out in the most beautiful way," one fan tweeted. Another wrote, "Kelly made me feel like I was the girl in the song. That's real talent." Praise from Trisha Yearwood herself. Perhaps the most touching moment came shortly after the episode aired, when Trisha Yearwood herself took to X, formerly Twitter, to share her thoughts. "Wow. I just watched at Kelly Clarkson's cover of #Walkaway Joe, speechless. So much heart. Thank you for honoring this song in such a beautiful way," she wrote, attaching a heart emoji and tagging Clarkson in the post. Clarkson responded graciously during a behind-the-scenes clip posted later that evening. "I just hope I did it justice," she said, her eyes welling up. "That song meant a lot to me growing up, and it means even more now as an artist who's lived through some of that heartbreak." Yearwood's acknowledgement added a layer of emotional validation that elevated the performance into a full-circle moment. An artist paying homage to her idol and, in turn, receiving her blessing. To understand why this particular cover hit so hard, one only needs to look at Kelly Clarkson's own journey through life, love, and heartbreak. Having gone through a highly publicized divorce in recent years, Clarkson has been open about how music has served as both therapy and expression. Songs like Piece by Piece, Because of You, and Stronger have long showcased her ability to turn personal pain into universal messages. Walkaway Joe, though written decades ago, gave Clarkson a vessel to explore similar emotional territory, this time through someone else's words. Her voice carried the weight of lived experience. Every lyric seemed to echo not just the character in the song but Clarkson's own journey. A young girl full of hope, who finds herself deceived by someone who never planned to stay. There was no acting involved. This wasn't simply a performance. It was confessional, raw, and heartbreakingly honest. In the behind-the-scenes moment shared on the show's social media pages, Clarkson opened up further. "When I was younger, I loved the melody and story, but now, having gone through relationships that ended in hurt and confusion, I hear the song with different ears. It's not just about being left, it's about how you survive that. The power of Kellyoke. Since the inception of the Kelly Clarkson Show in 2019, the Kellyoke segment has become a beloved feature. Each weekday, Clarkson and her band y'all open the show with a cover of a famous song, often spanning across genres and decades. From rock anthems to R&B ballads, Clarkson has demonstrated a remarkable ability to make each track her own. But every so often a particular performance breaks through the noise, and Walkaway Joe was one of those moments. The producers revealed that Clarkson personally curated the selection of that day's cover, stating that she'd been wanting to sing Walkaway Joe since the show's first season. Scheduling, licensing, and other logistics had delayed the opportunity. When it finally came together, Clarkson poured her soul into the moment. The choice to keep the arrangement minimal was a deliberate one. We wanted her voice and the lyrics to shine, music director Jason Halbert shared. There are songs where you want the full band sound, the big moment. This wasn't one of those. This needed to breathe. The legacy of Walkaway Joe. To fully appreciate the impact of Clarkson's cover, it's important to revisit the original. Released during a time when female country artists were redefining the genre, Walkaway Joe stood out for its storytelling depth and emotional complexity. Trisha Yearwood had already achieved breakout success with her self-titled debut, but Hearts in Armor marked a turning point. An album filled with heartbreak and resilience, written in the aftermath of Yearwood's own divorce. The collaboration with Don Henley added a subtle layer of depth to the track, a rock-country fusion that elevated its narrative. The music video, which starred a young Matthew McConaughey in one of his first screen appearances, further cemented the song's place in pop culture. It's a song that has endured for over 3 decades, finding new audiences year after year. Clarkson's cover didn't replace the original, it reignited it. Streaming numbers for Yearwood's version spiked in the days following the episode, a testament to how powerful music can be when passed down from one generation of artists to another. Celebrity reactions and industry praise. It wasn't just fans who were floored by Clarkson's performance. Celebrities and fellow musicians took to social media to express admiration for her rendition. Country artist Kelsey Ballerini posted, "Kelly just reminded all of us why we fell in love with country music in the first place.